All right. Hi everybody. Here are a few inking tips. Hopefully they'll help you. I'm working on a little piece here on my Fabriano 140 hot press paper, 140 pound hot press. I've got a size 2 round sable brush, and I'm using the Yasutomo Sumi ink. Those are the tools that I use 98% of the time. So, tip number 1, get rid of excess ink on your brush. People always ask me, how does the ink not bleed when you're going over it with the watercolors and stuff? And the thing is, it actually does bleed, but only if you use too much ink or too much water. So I'm very careful. I have a tissue next to me, or a paper towel, or a piece of paper, and I'll dip the dip the brush gently in the ink, and then I'll just make a few lines just to get rid of the excess. Same goes for when I'm watercoloring, especially a small area like somebody's face or the hair or whatever. I'll get my colors ready, and I'll just have it just enough on the brush to color in the area without it getting blobby and goopy. If you can drip it off the brush, then you're using too much water or too much ink. Tip number 2, keep your hand on the paper. When you see me doing the big broad strokes, like if I'm doing a big piece of hair or just a big line, I usually keep my hand on the paper at that time. If I just tried to kind of hover my hand and do it, I think it would be rubbish. Tip number 3 is for when you're ink washing, especially if you're ink washing a big area, is keep lots of ink wash ready. You need to have a little dish nearby, or a little plate with your ink wash mixed up, and make sure you have a lot of it, especially if you're doing a big area, because there's nothing worse than trying to color in a sky, or this counts for watercolor too, but just have enough there so you don't run out and then you're panicking trying to make more of your color. Always have enough so you have too much if you need it. Number 4 is just practice. I'm very confident with ink now because I've been using it for so long, but just get a big old pad of paper and just go nuts. And the more you practice and just doodle and have fun with it, your confidence will grow, and you can make those big confident lines without shivering and shaking with it, because when you're kind of just having fun with it and doodling, you kind of don't care if you screw up, and I feel like that's how you build up your confidence and your skill with the brush. So that's a few inking tips. Thank you so much for supporting me on Patreon, and I'll see you next time.